Does the use of social media and technology lead to anxiety and depression? This is an important discussion I just had recently with Doctora Pilar from Mexico City. Hopefully you've seen the other episode and go back and watch it if not. So look, there's a myriad of articles out there that are talking about it, and new research reveals how social media platforms like Facebook can greatly affect your mental health. In the United States, you're statistically more likely to use social media than not by a lot. Approximately 77% of all Americans have a social media profile of some kind. Despite the popularity of social media platforms and the rapidity with which they've inserted themselves into nearly all facets of life, there's a remarkable lack of clear data about how they affect us personally, our behaviors, our relationships, and our mental health. Does social media cause depression? A new study concludes that there is a causal link between the use of social media and negative effects of well-being, primarily depression and loneliness. This is published by the Journal of Social and Clinical Psychology. We found overall that you are actually less depressed and less lonely if you use less of social media, meaning that decreased social media use is what causes the qualitative shift in your well-being. All we could say is that there is an association between using social media and having poor outcomes with well-being. You can go on to read that more detail because this is an article from Healthline. And another article was called the Child Mind Institute. Does social media cause depression? How heavy Instagram and Facebook use may be affecting your kids negatively. They basically highlight in this article. Studies show that depression among teenagers and young adults have gotten more common over the past decade. Social media use has also increased during the same time. It's hard to say for sure that social media causes depression. Still, there are several ways that using social media could harm kids. Some experts think that connecting with peers online is less emotionally fulfilling than connecting in person, like the 90s. Research shows that teenagers who spend more time on social media also feel more isolated. It could be that kids who already feel isolated use social media more, but it could be that using social media actually makes kids feel more isolated. Another theory is that social media is bad for teenagers' self-esteem. Seeing lots of perfect pictures online might make kids, especially girls, view themselves negatively. This is exactly what Doctora Pilar said in our interview together. Feeling bad about themselves can lead to depression. Social media can also cut into the time that kids spend on activities that might make them feel good, like exercise and hobbies. Additionally, it can distract from important tasks like homework. Having to juggle those responsibilities can increase kids' stress. Studies also suggest that using social media at night interferes with restful sleep for many teenagers. It's important for parents to check with kids about social media use and help them during healthy habits. You can encourage kids to turn off notifications, spend plenty of time on offline activities that make them feel good, and put phones away before bedtime. You can also set a good example by modeling balance in your use of social media. Also, what Doctora Pilar said in our interview. And then finally, be sure to keep an eye out for signs of depression and get professional help. If you're worried, it's especially important to check on kids who are under a lot of stress. And finally, I want to show you this site, which is the main page for a documentary that was on Netflix called The Social Dilemma. I watched it last year with my wife. It's interesting here. It says the technology that connects us also manipulates us. The technology that connects us also polarizes us. And the technology that connects us also distracts us. And the technology that connects us also monetizes us. And the technology that connects us also divides us. And the technology that connects us also controls us, on and on. So, look, to conclude, have a useful balance for your social media use for these platforms. Even though you're watching this video, I'm grateful. Thank you so much. But in moderation, and have a balance in your life with how you use your time, and don't distract yourself completely and isolate yourself from the rest of the world. Get out there and enjoy life, nature, exercise, go be with friends someplace outside and enjoy yourself. And watch the full interview with Doctora Pilar. She is very passionate about this subject matter and can really, really help a lot of people who maybe have social media addiction and are really trying to get help because they have adversely been affected with it and have anxiety and depression. So make sure to check out that episode, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.